Close the door.
Hello guys, welcome back to our ASMR channel.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about this week. There's been a lot of things happening.
I'm sorry.
The one thing I would like to start off with is the news that Bryce Young got benched by the Panthers. I think that's just awful for him. I feel so bad for him because he's a great quarterback. He just has a horrible team, and he's getting blamed for all the mistakes. But if you look back at one of the recent games, I don't remember which one it was. It might have been against the Saints, but his own offensive tackle tackled him as he was running the ball.
I would have to totally agree with that. Bryce Young is a very good quarterback, and you saw it at Alabama. I mean, he was revolutionary, changed the tide in a way.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that doesn't really just happen with many people. They don't just are amazing in college and then just suck in the NFL. I mean,
Actually, that happens quite a
it
lot.
happens, but I don't think it happened to Bryce Young, of all people.
Another thing, Tua is guaranteed to be out at least 7 weeks with his concussion.
Um, I've just been seeing memes about how Tua's gonna look whenever he comes back to the league because this is like his fifth concussion, and
It is.
I'm really rooting for Tua. I like Tua, but I think it really is time for him to just kind of call it quits, just for his personal health.
So let's get back on the real topic here, talking about college football.
Oh, we also have to talk about the Saints winning streak.
Being a Cowboys fan, it really discouraged me watching them drop 40 on us. So
Being a Saints fan, I feel great. We've had like 6 years where we've barely put up any points, and now we're at this point, and so it feels great.
Derek Carr might be him, honestly.
Derek Carr is going to get Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, let's start off with our first game. Number 24 Illinois versus number 22 Nebraska.
I'm going to have to go with Nebraska.
Which one do you want game of the week and upset of the week?
So, game of the week, I had Tennessee or Oklahoma or USC versus Michigan.
Oh no. Game of the week, Tennessee versus Oklahoma. No. What about Utah and Oklahoma State? Or what was the other big matchup this week?
The Unk Bowl?
The Unk Bowl?
Yeah.
Yes, the Unk Bowl.
We're going to talk about the Unk Bowl.
My upset alert is, who did you put for upset alert? NC versus Clemson.
Yeah.
I like that. I liked it a lot. My upset alert was Vandy versus Missouri.
You think Vanderbilt's going to win?
I think so. I genuinely do. Hold on. I don't know whose water this is. I'm about to drink it. You look so beautiful.
Thank you. You're making my heart go fast.
Oh, I'm double cupping. We're still on live.
I know, I was just going to cut this out.
Okay. So NC versus Clemson or Vandy versus Missouri.
I'm going with NC versus Clemson.
Okay, we can go with that one then.
All right, guys. So we have decided that our upset of the week is going to be NC State versus Clemson. I think NC State is going to dog on Clemson.
I totally agree with that. Clemson is not a very good team. Cade Klubnik is a very good quarterback, but I don't think he has the weapons to succeed.
I just think NC State's going to win. I have nothing more to say.
Our game of the week this week. Let's get that topic out of the way. Okay, for our game of the week this week is going to be number 12 Utah State versus number 14. Oh my God, I messed it up again. It's just Utah. Okay, for our game of the week, it's going to be number 12 Utah versus number 14 Oklahoma State, which is the Unk Bowl.
Both of the quarterbacks' combined age, the starting quarterbacks for each team, their combined age is 49 years old. They are both seventh-year players.
That's very old. That's a long time
It's
in
very
college
old.
football.
At that point, I feel like you just need to give up your career in football.
Okay, we'll go back to game of the week. Let's start off. Number 24, Illinois versus number 22, Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I have Nebraska winning. Their quarterback is electric, even though he wants to be just like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Next up, we have Marshall versus number 3, Ohio.
I'm gonna have to give it to Ohio State.
I'm also going to have to go with Ohio. Next is NC State versus Clemson, which is our upset of the week. I think NC State's going to win. Nothing more to say.
I would totally agree with the NC State win. NC State's a very good football program. Clemson just doesn't have the weapons nor the talent to beat NC State, I believe.
Next up, we have Arkansas State versus number 20, Iowa State.
Arkansas State put up a fight against Michigan, but Iowa State is a very good football program, and I think Iowa State's going to come out on top.
I'm going to have to agree with that. I'm going to go with Iowa.
Okay.
Next up is UCLA versus number 16, LSU.
I honestly am going to give this game to UCLA. LSU's team has not really impressed me much this season. A struggled win against Nichols. Could barely beat South Carolina.
I'm going to have to go with LSU. That's what, whenever you're a fan, you just have to stick with it, even in the bad times.
But being a fan, I am a fan, and I'd love to see LSU win. But coming from a podcast, I don't think they will.
Let's just move on from this. Next up is Georgia Tech versus Louisville.
Louisville.
I apologize.
I have Louisville winning.
Give me Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech is underrated.
Louisville's a very good football team and always has a very good football team.
Next up, we have Miami versus Notre Dame.
Miami in Ohio, by the way.
Yeah,
clarifying.
sorry.
I'm going to have to give this one to Notre Dame. They impressed me against Purdue. And I think they're going to go places.
I'm also going to go with Notre Dame.
Kent State versus Penn State. Representing the Penn State merch.
I'm going to get it with Penn State.
Shout out our boy Drew Aller.
He paid for all this equipment we have here, so big thanks to him.
Yes, indeed. On that note, give me Penn State. Penn State by 50.
Next up we have Buffalo versus Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois, in case nobody remembers, that's the team that upset Notre Dame. They're a very good football team, a hard-working football team with a high motor. And I think they're going to come out on top over Buffalo.
I also have Northern Illinois winning.
Next is number 9. What rank are they? Number 11 USC versus number 18 Michigan. I'm going to give this one to USC. Their high-powered offense will destroy Michigan's defense, and Michigan's offense isn't the same that they were last year. I fully believe Michigan is washed.
I'd also have to agree with that. I think USC is going to win. I'm just not really a huge Michigan fan.
I've never really liked Michigan. Next is, once again, our game of the week, the Unk Bowl. Number 12, Utah versus 14, Oklahoma State.
I'm going with Oklahoma State on this one.
I'm going to have to go with Oklahoma State, too. Ollie Gordon is that guy, and I just don't think Utah can keep up with him.
I think that this is going to be a very good game to watch. I think it's going to be close the entire game.
That's why it's game of the week.
Exactly. Next up, we have Vanderbilt versus number 7, Missouri.
Give me Vandy. I want Vandy.
Give me Mizzou.
Missouri is a good football team, but
they're a very good football team.
I think I like Vandy's odds of winning. I really do.
Next up, we have number 8, Miami versus South Florida.
I'm going to go with Miami.
I'm also going to go with Miami. South Florida, don't really have much to say about them.
I don't know anything about South Florida. I know they got blew out by Bama.
Yeah. Next up, we have Bowling Green versus 25, Texas A&M.
I'm going to have to go with Texas A&M.
I'm going to have to go with Bowling Green. I will always root on the other against Texas A&M. I hate Texas A&M.
I'm not a big Texas A&M hater. I don't mind Texas A&M. The fans are a little irritating, but being an LSU fan, I could see that going both ways.
I'm also only going for Bowling Green because of Darius Gaddy. It's the only reason. And I hate Texas A&M.
Okay, so next game is number 6 Tennessee versus 15 Oklahoma. We almost picked this one for game of the week because it's an SEC matchup.
I think Oklahoma's a little underranked. I think they should be a little higher.
I think Tennessee is going to go out there and wipe the floor with Oklahoma. Tennessee is an amazing football program this year.
You know, I'm also going to go with Tennessee, but I feel like it's going to be a really close game. I don't think it's just going to be like a blowout.
Okay. Next is Georgia Southern versus Ole Miss.
Give me Ole Miss.
Give me Ole Miss. Nothing left to say about that.
Jackson Dart is an amazing quarterback.
I would have to totally agree with that. Jackson Dart is actually in the Heisman. He's one of the Heisman candidates right now.
Speaking of, they have Archie Manning winning the Heisman Trophy over Travis Hunter right now.
I would have to agree with that. Arch Manning is a better athlete and better player than Travis Hunter.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
He got in for was it 3-4, like the second quarter, and he just played the rest of the game past week. Wow.
And he blew them out.
Travis Hunter, on the other hand, first week, he played every snap of the game except for 2. Travis Hunter starts both ways in college football. Travis Hunter is an amazing athlete, amazing receiver. I mean, I think it's insane that they have Arch Manning over Travis Hunter.
And our next game is a big one, ULM versus Texas. I really wanted to predict ULM to upset number 1 Texas, but if you've seen the interview from the ULM coach, he said some of our players have beat Arch Manning, and they said he's not that good, and they want to do it again. And I think that's going to fuel a fire for Arch Manning in his second year at Texas. And he's going to go out there and throw for 7 touchdowns.
Give me ULM. Texas is not winning this. They're going to go in and thinking that they're going to win, and then they're just having low expectations the entire game, and then I think ULM's really just going to punch it down their throat, and because of General Booty specifically.
Give me Texas. All right, next game. Number 13, Kansas State versus BYU.
Give me K-State.
Give me K-State as well.
All right. Well, that concludes our college football for this week.
All right. Leave your predictions for the games in the comments and let us know what you think about our opinions. We will mention them on videos if you give us enough comments.
We will.
And thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time.
Can we play a Minecraft outro?
Should we do the Jack Black one singing? I am placing because